So these are all of the materials that I introduced to the children last week. So I did this one on Monday, and I think I also did this one on Monday, and then these two on Tuesday, and then this one on Wednesday, and then this one on Thursday, and then I did a your choice for Friday. All of these lessons are focused on AMST. So I'm going to try a different approach where I'm just going to saturate each week with 4 letters. And I know I've given the lessons so that I can invite them right to it when they come in the morning. And then I've paired it with the rainbow numbers and letters so that they can practice their handwriting as well. So we have 2 good solid works that they have under their belt right when they walk in for the morning. And then from there, I just need to come up with a plan for how to tackle the counting. No? Hello, hello. Well, I'm in my spring break week. It's towards the end. It's Friday. I have definitely taken to heart spring cleaning, so I've been doing a lot of cleaning in my house. And really just trying to figure out how to do life better as a Montessori teacher and primary Montessori teacher, so 3 to 5 year olds, but I don't get the 3rd year with them. So that's just a special. I guess it's important for me to mention that because I think for many teachers, I will say for me, the 3-year cycle is such a beautiful cycle because you've been watching these children progress, and then that 3rd year really brings together all of the lessons you've given in a 3-year program. And when you don't get to see what happens at the 3rd year, it is a bit jarring because there's a lot of frustration in the middle, where the sensitive period of 3 is exceptional, but they're just busy little bees. And then you get to the 4.5, and you can see that starting to slow down, so they have a little bit more of self-control, but then it's like constantly knocking on the door. Okay, ready? And then you get into that 3rd year, which would be technically a kindergarten year, and you really do see like just the exponential movement mentally and emotionally, and all of the things that the Montessori classroom touts, like being able to do multiplication and division, being able to read, all of those things. You're going to see a little bit of it in year 2, but you really get to see it in year 3. And so it's like finding ways to, like, I don't know, have a better vision for what it is that you have as your job description now. Anyway, all that to say is, one of the things I wanted to do is, for a while, my oldest was staying with me, and it was definitely a good experience to be able to have that time again for a lot of reasons. But he kind of made the room into a man cave. I didn't take any pictures of before. All I knew is I'm changing this room. So I'm going to show you what I did. I think I might have shared a little bit in a video. So these pictures were already here. It's this one and this one. And I got them when I was in Ohio. Found it at an amazing thrift store. I really missed that thrift store. But they were set together, and then some of the things he had was on the wall. But I took those down and separated them. I brought a cactus in, which I need to make sure in water. There's lots of good light in here, but I might need to move it over there. But it's so aesthetically pleasing right here. I kind of want to keep it here too. Here is a lamp that I got so many years ago when I was oh man, newly married, so it's about 20 years old. It's been moving from place to place. There's so many things that we've let go. We didn't let go of this lamp. It's kind of kooky, so it has to be plugged in because the little knob is broken. But yeah, I really love the colors on it and all the things. Here are some of the books that I keep telling you about that I have to do a review on because I've just, like I said, just have fallen in love with my reading life. I have this knack for always keeping my flowers and letting them dry, and I love them. If you know of something I can do with dried flowers, I'd love to do it because I just love the look of them. And so I put a bunch, probably this is about 2 bouquets I put together. This is just a Beastie Boys book. I'm a fan of Beastie Boys. It's just a cool book with lots of pictures in it. So the other thing I did is I just did a refresh on the bedding and put a little more color in here. And then I just added some odds and ends wall art. So this one I found, my favorite number has always been 5. So I thought, oh, what a nice way to walk into the room. So this is the walk-in. And you come over here. The right, I haven't mentioned it to you because there's stuff over here that needs to leave the room. But then these rugs are new, kind of breaking up on the interest on the floor. I love having anything that talks about gratefulness and thankfulness in the rooms. Excuse me. Yeah, can you believe it? I'm getting sick and I haven't been around the kids. It's so dumb. Hedgehogs. Once upon a time, I did have a hedgehog, but when we moved to Ohio, some states don't allow you to have hedgehogs as pets, so rehomed that. And then this is the other side, so you can kind of see how it used to be in here. It was like grays and blacks. This was the rug that was on the floor. It was this couch, which is deceptively looks like it would be comfortable. It is 100% not a comfortable couch. Not to sit on, not to lay on. It is literally just this large monstrosity in the room that needs to go. Here's the other of that 2-piece over here, of the other wall art. And then this. So again, this was like a bunch of things I found at the same time at Walmart, not Walmart, Goodwill, that, because I get to work my creative muscle all the time, I was able to put it together really quickly. I'm super proud of it. And then this is just an ugly white stand to put things on. But what I did is I just found a little thin blanket to put over the top. And then I'll give you a better look later when the sun is shining through here more. But this is, all of the things that I want to do. My ukulele is in here. My recorder is in here. Some more things that go with the ukulele. And then this is from, my business, meaning these things here. Because I'm still doing the secondhand clothing sales, but I have kind of decided to just like wind it down. It was fun for a while. I've said to you, I've come back and forth to it over the years, but it's just kind of gotten to the place where it's like, it can be annoying. Like, for example, I don't know. I think I showed you this amazing Dutch Bros hoodie that sold within 2 days. And I let it sell for $35, like cheaper than it probably should have gone. But I let it, I think maybe it was even $30. And I shipped it. And then like 3 weeks later, they're like, oh, it's secondhand. Well, duh. That's what it says in the listing. But eBay allowed them to send it back. And I don't know what's going on in my return address, because on my end it looks like it should return here. Well, it returned somewhere else, and then it's sent back to the person. This is the second time that's happened, and the first time it happened was also on a fairly higher end item. And I'm just like, Robin, I'm telling you, I'm a hopeful girl. I'm always like, this is going to be amazing. And like I said, the money definitely coming in, making an additional $200, $300 every 6 weeks. Not a bad gig. But I think just the headache of things like that, it just again I've decided is not worth it. I honestly have wanted to have a business, in part because I do think it's something that's like a great muscle to build. It's nice to have a little something coming in. But I think also the other part of it is like always have these dreams of like, with more money, I'm going to be able to help people and, and just, be more of a giver because I love giving. But it just doesn't really turn out to be that way. It turns out to be more work. Nothing really like exponentially goes anywhere. It's just like this constant just low of more frustration than anything else. So I decided to let it go, finish up selling whatever it is, probably give it to like the end of summer, because believe it or not, we've moved here. Gosh, next month will be 1 year ago, which just seems crazy to me. But I might let it go through the summer, and then I just might close everything down, clear out my garage, and just call it good, and see if something else comes up for me. I'm definitely doing a lot, like I've mentioned before, on Substack, doing a lot of writing about Montessori. Obviously, these videos here, so hopefully they are helpful to you. You're sharing them with others. Because I'd like to move more into that consultant role. But again, that's what a lot of people say. And I'm just trying to see, do I have a voice for it as far as people are interested in what I'm saying, the way I approach it and all those things. Time will tell. You just put it out there and see if people are interested. So anyway, just wanted to show you my little makeover. If I have any other ones that I think might be interesting to you, All right, I just got back from one of my favorite thrift stores. They have a Dollar Tree right next to it, so I thought I'd stop in there. So some new things that I'm going to add to the classroom when I get back from spring break, which is on Monday. So we have been talking about inviting the piece table back into our classroom. For whatever reason, this is a starter school that I'm at, when we started our Montessori classroom, there was no talk or anything in the starter classroom kit, all the furniture and such, that would be designated as a piece table. And because we have a calming area, it was kind of assumed that we just use the calming area rather than the piece table. But what we're finding is the value of a piece table is that you get to have conversations. And so if you've not seen a piece table before, I will show you what we're going to do and then give you a little more explanation behind the piece table. But I found this flower that I think is really beautiful. I'm probably going to try to cut it down a little bit, but maybe not. And this is going to go in our calming area until we create the piece table environment. So there's that. I got that from Dollar Tree. And then I got a couple of these boxes that what I would like to do is put either little jewels in there that would go with like an activity where they're having to cover all the items, objects that begin with A or that kind of thing, or little cards that they can use with like the table rods or the abacus, so that they can do some counting with it. So I have two of these, two different styles to switch out, from 1 month to the other. And then I bought one of these in the past and I really liked it. And so I found another one, because you know how Dollar Tree is. They don't always have the same things all the time. When I got this happened to be, it was a blue one, and it was just like sat on a shelf somewhere. So it must have been the last one and someone decided not to get it. And so I found that they have some new ones in stock. So I got this one. And then I have just a box that I'm sure I can put something in. I'm probably going to paint it because so much of the classroom has like, this neutral tone. And I think just to give it a little bit of interest, I'm going to either decoupage it or just paint it some type of color and then kind of sand it down. So that's what this is for. All right, so that's what I got from Dollar Tree. And then these are the things that I got from my favorite thrift store. And sometimes I just pick up things and then I'm going to like take it into the classroom to be inspired by it. But I always will pick up any pictures that I find. So this one was $2.49. White tags, I believe, were 25% off. So I think I got this for $2. And of course, I always have to make sure and soak these because the stickers don't come off very easily. So learned that lesson. Here's something, again, it was a white tag, and it's got some texture to it, and it's also shapes and things. So I thought we could do a couple things with this. We could put it on the shelf in the outdoor classroom and they can match it, but then we'd also have some paper available if they wanted to trace and draw with this too. I just found a grab bag of paper clips, which, yeah, I need these all the time, so I picked those up. This is just an interesting little bowl that kind of looks like a fish. That, again, I'll probably find a way to use it on one of the trays to put things in. This was something where I don't know what it is, but they're flowers and we're going into spring, and I figured this could be some sort of counting activity. So let me open it and we'll see what it is. First I thought it was a string of flowers that maybe lit up, but then I didn't see any cord of any kind. Okay. Yeah, so there's just these little flowers that I think would be a great counting activity. So I'm going to probably put these in the basket and have them count these. So again, really sweet. Yeah, okay, look. Some of them, I guess they could be ornaments of some kind. Okay, now I see. There is a little hole there. So they could be ornaments. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use them as a counting activity. Always on the lookout for these little display items. But for $1.99, it was 25% off, so I guess maybe $1.25. I finally got some pants that I'm going to use in that activity where they're hanging up clothes. Got the cute little hangers. I'll have to show those to you. So this will, for a while, be just a hanging up clothes activity, and then at some point we will transition it to folding clothes. Got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these were like 99 cents each. I got a kind of math activity. So this will probably go in the outside classroom for them to practice. And then this was just a fun little game that I thought, I don't know how I can incorporate it, but I'm going to try. So what intrigued me about it, it's called a clue? A clue. There you go. It's called a clue. All right, so here's the premise of it. It says, did I read it on the back of the box? Maybe it was on the back of the box. It's about solving riddles. It said something like, okay, here it is. A clue was invented by a mom with 2 boys who avoided reading homework at all costs. The riddle edition combines your child's thinking skills with physically active fun. So I can't wait to see if I can use this in any sort of way. I'll probably have to modify it because it is a preschool classroom. But I just thought, I love when I find things like this because it's not something I would normally even look for, but it's out in the wild, it's interesting, and I might be able to build something around this.
And now, Cubs fans, brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Please join Brooks and Ella for the words we all love to hear.
50-50 raffle, pot could be over $10,000. All the money raised goes to charity. 50-50 raffle. Pot could be over $10,000. 50-50 raffle.